Alright, here we go. This is a 16 times speed time-lapse video of me making the combat cruiser in Minecraft. Now this is a ship that I am making in 3D based off of a concept sketch that I drew. As you can see, it's whizzing around quite fast. 16 times speed, as I mentioned. And the original footage was about 6 to 7 hours long. Quite a bit of time of me making this ship. And yeah, it's compressed all the way down to, well, the final 16 times footage was still half an hour, still quite a bit of footage, so I had to chop it up a little bit and remove some less relevant bits that were like me just sitting there and doing something like away from the computer or getting a drink or going to the bathroom. So those of you probably curious, you're probably looking at this right now and going, yeah, this isn't vanilla Minecraft, and it isn't. It definitely is not vanilla Minecraft. And it is a modded client. It is a whole mod package. It isn't just me having a number of mods packaged on my vanilla Minecraft. This is a special client called Robbit. It's similar to Hexit and Tekkit and all those other common Minecraft mod clients, but you can't download it from Tekkit Launcher. You have to go to a different website, and it has its own launcher. The cool thing about Robbit, though, is that it's got its own multiplayer server that is exclusive to those who use the Robbit client. You can play Robbit single player, but the multiplayer is part of why you would have Robbit in the first place. Robbit's geared specifically to make multiplayer a better experience, and this, me building the ship right now, is actually taking place on the multiplayer server, as you probably guessed. I'm building it in a separate dimension from everything else, called Dimension 101, which is a space-themed dimension where it's creative free build, but everything is void. There's no terrain, nothing whatsoever except for the empty space, and you just fly out somewhere and you start building. So you can have your spaceship situated wherever in the dimension, and you can just have glass and you look out and it's just space. It's a really cool theme. But anyways, back to the ship. It looks like I'm just about done with the front. I'm doing the underside of the front right now and accenting it. That's tin blocks that I'm using right there for the accent. Most of the exterior of the ship is made out of abyssal block, and these blocks are... tin block is from Industrial Craft, and the abyssal block, I believe, is from Railcraft. To make the engine, I used reinforced stone, which is another Industrial Craft block, I believe. Reinforced stone is insurvivable. It's really expensive stone that, well, as you probably guessed, has a much higher tolerance to explosions. And if you look at what I did for the engine, I do this for a lot of the engines of the spaceships that I make. It's the front has coal block or basalt block or something that really is dark by appearance. And then on the other side, the exhaust side, I have lava or orange lamps to give the impression of fire exhaust. So it seems I've finished the front now, and the panels on the outside of the engine, which you'll see what I'm talking about when we do the run around of the final product. So as you can probably see, I'm using World Edit quite a bit. A lot of this ship isn't made completely with World Edit, because it's not by any means a linear design. It's not like I can just use World Edit a couple of times and be done with it. In fact, it's the complete opposite of that. I'm using World Edit only in small bursts where it is more convenient to use World Edit. And see a couple of the guys are on the server, and I'm chatting with them right now while working, which is a little bit distracting. When I'm making a ship like this, I get very much into what I'm designing, and when I get thrown off of what I'm doing, it gets very hard to get back into the flow of building. Even though I had a concept sketch as a reference to work off of. And that's me and Ice Wolf complaining about other people playing League of Legends. So this looks like I'm working on the underside of the hull right now, in the middle of the ship. Now that all has to be handmade because I can't just stack with one section of the hull, because the side accent, as you can see, the very side of the ship goes out as you go towards the back, and I have to extend the hull out each row to match that, because the bottom of the hull is straight. So I have to hand make each row and go down the hull. See, I think I'm at the back right now. Yep, I'm nearly done. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned this, but if you haven't noticed, I'm only making the left side of the ship. And that's because what I do to ensure symmetry is I use World Edit in the end, and I copy, flip, paste to form the right side of the ship. And this is to ensure symmetry all across the ship. And as you guessed, it saves me quite a bit of time and effort, because I can make a ship both sides without doing that with World Edit, without copy, flip, pasting, but it's a pain to match up both sides as you're going along. And of course, as you probably guessed, it just takes a freaking long time. It looks like right now I just finished with the tail fin. That's the concept drawing popping up. I originally had another computer out for me to view the concept drawing on, but my roommate came out and wanted to play Minecraft with us, and his computer uses the same charger as the computer that I was viewing the concept sketch on, and he needed the charger, so I had to shut off that computer and then simply pop up the concept sketch when I needed it on the computer I was playing Minecraft on. So it still looks like I'm finishing up the hull there. I'm just putting the accents on the outside. And then at this point, okay, yeah, now I'm working on the fins that extend out from the back of the ship, the rear engine heat dissipation fins. Now the idea was that on this particular ship, the rear engines are supposed to be abused a lot more than the front engines, so the back of the ship is much more fatter and much more bulky to accommodate all the engineering and the machinery to supply that extra power, in contrast to my other ships, which have a more even design. So if you're probably wondering, this is probably the 6th ship I've made, I believe, but a lot of the other ships I've made for more of my Minecraft friends. I mean, the very first ship I made well, I've made a lot of other smaller projects other than this, as well as ships, but ships in Dim 101, like big projects. This is my 6th one, and 2 others are much smaller and for my Minecraft buddies. Like, they're ships for them to furnish on the inside, and they can call it their ship, but they are of my design, and I built them. So, yeah. And then another thing I've been doing is that since I've been building these ships, I've been challenging some of the other guys to build their own spaceships as well. Oh, is this the moment? This is it. I'm copy, flip, pasting. So I've got that corner. And copying. Oh, I'm expanding first so that I get all the ship. I make sure I have all the ship. I've copied, I flip the clipboard, and I'm moving to the relative position to paste. And I'm pasting, and nothing happens initially because it's World Edit, and because the ship is so big, sure enough, the server crashes. Well, I don't know if it crashes, it just lags out, but when I log back in, the job's done. And there it is, the complete ship. Both sides formed together. Smack right together, just like a tree. Worked perfectly. And there's the complete ship. So yeah, I've developed it a little bit. I may do the interior of the ship, because I have done interiors of ships before. I'm not that good at furnishing. I am good at, like, theming the inside of a ship. But I did make some of the decks and before I mirrored it, so that I would have a better reference of where to go off of if I was going to do the interior. So yeah, that's the finished product. I've got the tail fins, I've got the ramp on the back. the engines and the panels outside the engines. So if you see what I was talking about earlier with the panels on the outside of the engines, Optifine's control, zoom in with different field of view. And you can see what I mean about the back being a lot bulkier and more chunky than the front, which is more slender and a bit more sleek. That's all I have to share with you for now, but if you liked what you see and you did enjoy it, please let me know in a comment. And again, hope you enjoyed watching, and thanks for watching. Have a good one.